For years, fans believed Ty Borden's story had ended forever. His death left Amy broken, his daughter without a father, and the Heartland Ranch carrying a silence that could never be filled.
It felt way too hard.
But what if the story we were told was not the whole truth?
Thanks for that, Jack.
What if Ty was never gone at all?
Wyatt's around
If his
here somewhere.
return is
Wyatt!
about to change everything asterisk.
Wyatt's
Ty Borden was not just another character in Heartland.
Stay back! Stay back!
From the moment he rode into the ranch as a troubled young man, audiences saw him grow into a husband, a father, and a protector.
I saw him in town.
He was the one who stood beside Amy through storms, through loss, and through the quiet struggles of ranch life. His presence was steady. His love for Amy was a light that guided her through darkness.
Nobody else I'd
When the series showed his tragic end, it felt like a part of Heartland itself had been ripped away. Amy's tears were not just hers. They belonged to millions of fans watching across the world. Viewers saw her carry the weight of loss while trying to be strong for Lyndy. They saw her walk through the fields with silence in her eyes.
Kissed me.
Felt the emptiness that spread through every corner of the ranch, but even as the seasons moved forward, something
In
remained.
my day, we called
Ty's
that
memory
true
was
grit.
not only in old photographs or in Amy's words.
You're here for the tour,
There were
obviously?
moments where the stories
Of course
seemed to
we are.
leave space for him, as if the truth had not yet been fully told. Amy's quiet stares at the horizon, her soft voice when she spoke of him, and Lyndy's innocent questions about her father reminded
I was
fans
supposed to go
that
to,
Ty's spirit
Banff
still lived within the
with
show.
Mark.
This is why
Oh,
the
this
whispers
is
began.
Fun?
Some viewers wondered if Ty's end was too sudden to
I'll never forgive you!
They asked if it was possible that the writers had left a hidden door open. Could there have been a chance that Ty survived, but was kept away by circumstances beyond anyone's control? Fans clung to this idea, not because they refused to let go, but because the bond between Amy and Ty was too powerful to be erased so easily.
What's
The
it
legacy
like
of Ty's
working and living
character
on a ranch?
continues to fuel
Well,
hope.
it ain't easy, I'll tell
For
you.
Amy, his absence is a wound that never healed.
Thank you.
And for viewers, it is a mystery
We-
that still feels
We need to turn
unfinished.
those horses out, and we don't have much time.
That is where the new season begins, its greatest question. Was Ty's story truly over? Or has Heartland been preparing
It's
us
just all
for?
messed up.
Twists that will shake the ranch, and
I
every
suck.
heart-watching asterisk whispers began to spread among fans long after Ty was gone.
How you doing? Oh, good.
They asked the same question again and again. What if the story we saw was not the complete truth? Some believed that the way Ty's final moments were shown felt too sudden. There was no
He
long
wasn't
goodbye,
good enough for you
no proper
anyway.
farewell, only a heartbreaking cut that left everyone in shock.
Hey, baby.
This raised
What do you
suspicion.
think of my new rug?
Was it really the
only
end,
way to survive
or had something
is-
been hidden away?
is to have passion.
Theories grew stronger with every rewatch.
Jen.
Viewers noticed gaps.
Hey,
In the
Peter.
story, they pointed out how Ty's medical case seemed rushed, how records were never fully explained, how certain characters spoke in ways that hinted at secrets left untold. These details lit a fire of hope. In many fan circles, the idea was simple. Ty did not die. He was saved in secret.
Wyatt!
Maybe he was moved far away for recovery. Maybe someone kept him hidden for reasons Amy never knew. Each theory had one thing. Common Ty was alive somewhere, waiting for the right time to return. The rumors became more than just fan talk.
Over.
They turned into a belief, a quiet faith that Heartland had planted clues on purpose. Every time Amy looked into the distance, every time she spoke about feeling Ty close to her, fans were reminded of the possibility that his
Honestly,
spirit was not only in memory,
there isn't
but in
anything.
flesh. Even Lyndy's innocent words carried weight. When a child asks if her father might come back, the question does not feel like fantasy. It feels like a seed of truth, waiting for the moment to grow.
I want to show you.
The story of Heartland has always been about hope
Time.
and healing. And what greater hope could there be than the chance that Ty Borden, the
Come
man
over, look
everyone
who's
thought
here.
was lost, is still out there? His return would not only change Amy's life, it would change the future of the ranch itself.
It's okay, they're much.
Astress Amy carried her pain quietly. She never spoke of it in long words, but her silence told
Just
more
as I
than
was
her
really
tears.
starting to like him, you know.
Every corner of the ranch reminded her of Ty. His jacket still
You
hung
two
in the
have
barn.
not seen each other in a while,
His
hey?
tools still rested where he left them. Even the horses seemed to look for him. When the evenings grew calm, raising Lyndy alone was her greatest test. She became both mother and father,
Girl.
carrying the warmth of love and the strength of
Lost
discipline.
it on him.
Yet at night, when Lyndy was asleep, Amy often stood by the window, staring at the horizon as if waiting for someone to return. Her heart never fully accepted what her mind was forced to
It's not
believe.
the rule. And
The people around her
sometimes
tried
it
to help,
seems like the odds are
Jack
stacked
gave.
against her.
His wisdom, Lou offered her support, and the ranch community stood close. But none of them could replace the bond she once had with Ty.
Listen to this.
He was not just her husband. He was her partner in every ride, every rescue, every storm.
focus on
Without
training
him,
for the
even the
summer
brightest
games, right?
days felt incomplete. Still,
Now he's got
there were
Kit.
moments that gave her pause.
She's over
A
all
sudden
the
breeze that made her turn, thinking she might see him. A dream so vivid that she woke with tears, feeling as if Ty had been standing right beside her. And sometimes, Lyndy would say things that struck deeper than Amy expected.
not
Child's innocent
Young
words can hold
ranch
truth
like
that adults
ours, it's
often ignore.
The exception. Not
Amy's struggle was not only grief, it was the unshaken sense that Ty was still part of her story. She felt it in the quiet hours when the ranch was still. She felt it when she placed her hand on the horse's Ty once cared for. She felt it most when she held Lyndy,
He went to
knowing
Calgary with
that
his family for a
the
few
bond
days,
between
so
father and
we
daughter
sort of
was
have to
too
worry
strong
about
to
him.
simply vanish.
knows me better than
The silent
anyone,
struggle
and
became her hidden strength.
I just
She
let
kept
him go.
moving forward, carrying both hope and sorrow, refusing to let
What you did, it
either
really
one
hurt.
consume her. But in the silence of her heart, a single question never left her. What if Ty was not gone? What if he was somewhere fighting to come back to her? Asterisk, the ranch had
good
settled into
days
its
and
usual
bad.
rhythm.
Maybe there's been a
Horses
few more
moved
bad
calmly in the
days
fields.
lately than I-
Jack's
Dance
steady
with
hand
me.
kept everything in order. Amy worked hard to keep life normal
I
for
have friends
her.
with horses.
Yet on one quiet
have to send them your
evening,
way if
something
things work well,
unexpected
Cass.
disturbed that calm. Lyndy was the first to notice. She ran into the house with wide eyes,
Wyatt was
pointing
such an idiot.
toward the barn.
So I take it that
Her voice carried a mix
you
of fear
and Wyatt
and
aren't-
excitement
No, I'm
as she
afraid
said,
to get
"Daddy
close
is
to
there."
anyone. Every time I do, I
At
end
first,
up losing
Amy
them.
froze. She wanted to believe her daughter,
You know I
but
love
she
you,
knew the
but
weight of those words.
I'm so
Still,
mad.
the urgency in Lindy's tone forced her to step outside. The night air was heavy and still. A faint sound came from the barn, the creak of wood,
like to
the
live
shuffle of
and work
boots on the
a
ground.
ranch.
Amy's heart pounded as she walked
I think
closer.
I'm a little too old for that.
Every
You're not too
step
old to
felt
be
longer than
sad.
the last. She pushed the
Yeah,
door
I guess
open
Happy
and
to
saw
pay whatever you're
shadows
asking.
dancing between the beams of light. Inside,
I got a lot-
the tools were shifted, hay scattered, as if someone had been searching or waiting. Then she
Party?
noticed the figure standing at the
Seriously, it
far
was
end of
so
the barn,
embarrassing.
turned his shoulders
And-
broad and familiar. Amy's
keeps
breath
moving
caught.
further
She wanted to
away.
call his name,
My
but
heart's
the
a little
words stuck in her throat. The figure slowly
okay if
turned,
it's a lot broken.
and the dim light revealed a face she knew better than her own, a face she had seen in dreams.
He's staying.
In photographs,
Comments on your site say
in every
you were the
memory
best.
of love she carried,
And look at this
her
guy.
mind told her it could not be possible, but her heart said otherwise.
Heartland Ranch.
For a moment, the barn felt
Everybody's looking
frozen
for you,
in
you know.
time.
Your family's
No
really
voices,
worried.
no sound, only the
Shouldn't
echo
walk
of
away
emotions
without
too
telling
strong
anyone.
to hold back. Amy's
exactly
eyes
like a
filled with
horse used to
tears,
have
and
when I was
Lyndy
a kid.
clung to her, sighed, whispering the word that shattered every wall of disbelief. Daddy, what followed was not an
Check
answer,
out her cross-country course, and she totally
but a silence
agreed,
that
so it's
carried
not like
more
we're
weight than any
trespassing.
I
explanation.
can't say I'm
The
sorry. I
encounter
can't
raised
even talk
questions
to
that no
him.
one was ready for. Why was he
You
here?
will.
Where? Had he been? What truth had been hidden
I'm
all
not
this
ready to
time?
forgive you yet.
Asterisk, Amy stood frozen in the barn, unable to move or speak. The man before her was more than a memory. He was real, alive, and looking back at her with eyes she had longed to see.
What's he doing?
Every
Grandpa,
emotion she had
keep it
buried
positive. We
rushed
want
to
them
the surface at
inspire
once. Joy, fear, disbelief, and love collided inside her
What do you
chest.
say?
Ty took a step
I'll
closer.
do my best.
His face carried the marks of struggle, yet his presence was undeniable. The air between them was heavy,
Exactly on the
as if
best
years of
terms right
silence
now?
had been broken
No,
in a single
we're not
moment.
talking.
Amy wanted to rush forward,
Yes, I
but
do.
part of
Look
her
at
held
Ty.
back. She needed to know the truth.
You know,
Lyndy broke the silence first.
and I know it probably
She let go of
wouldn't
Amy's
have worked,
hand
but
and ran to him without hesitation. Her small arms wrapped tightly around his waist, and her voice trembled
Dude Ranch.
as she
No,
called
I'm
him
good.
Daddy.
I rented a ranch.
The sound of that word shattered
How
the
did you know
walls
you'd
Amy
be-
had tried so hard to build. Tears ran down her face as she realized this was not a dream. Ty knelt down, holding his daughter as if he had been waiting for this moment forever.
Well, this
His
sounds
hand
crazy,
shook,
but some wild
his voice
horses are
cracked,
more wild than others.
but his embrace carried strength and warmth.
gotta deal with my horses
The sight tore Amy apart. Part of her wanted to collapse into his arms, Yet another part demanded answers.
I told you.
Why
I
had he
asked
been
Paula
gone?
Weston.
Your fault.
Why had he let her suffer alone?
We had this big fight.
Emotions in that barn were more
before.
powerful than any storm.
Please, you are not.
Every heartbeat was louder than words.
You're hurting.
Amy's
Walk him in.
tears
Yeah, I know what
turned
to
into
do. You go.
sobs, her knees weakening as she finally whispered his name.
Can you fix it?
Ty looked up at her with eyes that carried
think
both
so.
sorrow and
Good, because I got to be in
relief.
Calgary in 2 days.
He reached out his hand, not with explanation, but with the simple truth of his presence.
Maybe now that I'm...
This was the twist no one expected.
Hey, Lou.
Ty Borden,
I found her.
the man who had been mourned and
Really what I
buried in
had in
memory,
mind.
stood alive
That's okay.
before them.
I've got a couple of others.
His
you can
return
choose
was
from.
not only a miracle for Amy and Lyndy, it was a turning point for Heartland. Questions would come later, secrets would demand answers. But in that moment, love was stronger than every shadow that tried to hide it. Asterisk. News of Ty's return spread across the ranch like fire. Jack was the first to see him walk through the door,
Wait.
and for a moment, even his steady heart faltered. Lou stood speechless, torn
Who could
between
resist
anger
working with
and
Loki?
relief.
Now
Every
stop
face
acting like
carried
a
the same
jerk.
storm.
Listen to the...
That's where you
of
can
emotions.
find our cookbook
Shock,
here and
confusion,
order your
and joy all at
organic...
once.
Anybody?
Amy tried to
don't
hold
think
herself
they
together,
noticed.
but her mind
Yeah.
raced with questions.
I'm gonna...
Where had he been?
Name's Kaz.
Why had he
That
not
horse
come
over
back
there has
sooner?
a similar look.
Why had he let her believe he was gone?
Really think I give
The
a
silence
damn
of those
about the
missing
state of your
years
mind?
weighed heavier
Huh?
than the air in
All I
that
care
room.
about is seeing...
Ty stood with his eyes lowered, his voice shaking as he admitted that his absence had not been by choice.
I don't know.
He spoke of a fight for survival, of dangers he could not reveal,
I mean,
yet of forces that had kept
You'll
him
be
away
happy to
from the
know
family
that
he loved.
Nathan and
His
I
words were enough
decided
to spark more mystery than answers, but
Hold
they
up.
carried truth in the way he looked at Amy and
Every time I
Lyndy.
try to put the halter
For
on, he
Amy?
runs away.
The relief of having him back clashed with the pain of what she had endured alone. Every night she had cried, every day she had fought to stay strong, came flooding back in waves. She wanted to embrace him without question, yet she also wanted to demand
I've
the
noticed
truth.
that this.
Too young to understand the depth of the situation, simply clung to her father. To her, his return was not complicated. While love made real again. She smiled, laughed, and filled the house with the sound of
didn't keep our
innocence,
relationship from
reminding everyone what
getting
truly
tied up.
mattered.
Everything else.
The ranch itself seemed to come alive with his presence. Horses responded to him as if no time
I'll
had
be happy to
passed.
give it a try.
The
Hey,
land
I don't
felt
know if
lighter,
you need somewhere to
as
stay,
if a
but
missing
my
piece
sister,
had been
she runs
returned.
a.
Yet under that sense of renewal lingered an unspoken fear.
I know this.
If Ty had been forced to stay away for so long, what danger might still be out there?
Hey there.
The aftermath of his return was not simple joy.
Every time I go out in the field,
It was
he
a
keeps his
storm of
distance,
emotions,
and
of
I know
questions
Something I
without
can do.
answers,
There isn't.
of a family torn between celebration and fear of what might come next.
I never
The one thing they all knew was clear. Nothing at Heartland would ever be
Why?
the same again.
I feel so guilty.
Asterix night
Amy,
settled over
we already
Heartland,
talked
yet
about
no one
this.
could
It
rest.
wasn't go our
The
separate
return of
ways.
Ty had shaken every heart and
I'm
every
not
thought.
happy, Amy. I'm sorry.
Amy sat alone on the porch,
Listen,
watching the stars. Her hands trembled as she tried to make sense of what had happened. The man she loved was
That's what I'm
alive,
dealing with.
yet his silence about the missing years left her mind filled with questions she was not ready to ask. Inside the house, Lyndy slept peacefully. For the first time in years, her small hand resting on her
he's a little
father's
less
arm,
fearful of the human
Ty
world
stayed
than some of the
close,
others.
watching over her with eyes that carried both love and sorrow.
Hey!
He had returned, but his gaze revealed a weight he had not shared. A truth that still hid behind his silence.
Yeah.
Jack stood near the barn, his face lit by the soft glow of a lantern. He had seen men come back from hardship before, but never with eyes that carried this kind of burden. He knew Ty's return was not the end of a story,
Lady,
the beginning of one far more dangerous.
Call me when it's
The
good to
ranch
go.
was alive again.
Sooner.
Yet a shadow lingered in the air.
Delivered straight to your
Horses stirred restlessly in their stalls.
Hang out with you until the
Dogs barked into the distance as if
Sure.
warning
You want to swing?
of something unseen.
He's similar, but not the
Heartland had
same.
gained back a son, but perhaps it
think
had
you could try
also
with
invited
Kaz?
the danger that had once taken
You
him
gone!
away.
Now!
Amy
All right!
felt it too.
Go!
As she rose from the porch and stepped inside, her heart
What
beat
if I
heavy.
run into Dylan?
She looked at Ty, and for a moment their eyes met. Love was
I seem to
there,
get close to him.
unbroken, but so was fear.
And now he's
The
got
story
a
of Ty
girlfriend.
Borden was not finished.
I'm sorry that I
His
played a part
return
in
was not
this.
just a miracle, it was
It's just
a
we
mystery. And in the silence of that night, one thing became certain.
Please.
The truth of
2
where he
days,
had been
that's
and why he
pretty
had stayed
quick.
away
I'm not going to make any
would
promises.
change
but
Heartland
I'm on
forever.
TV, it will be.
Asterisk night
Before
settled
we
over
get started,
Heartland.
where can our viewers
Yet no
find
one
this
could rest.
recipe?
The return of Ty had shaken every
Meet
heart
me
and
at the,
every
the
thought.
playground in the park. Okay.
Amy sat alone on the porch, watching the stars.
What about him?
Her hands trembled as she tried to make sense of what had
I'm
happened.
not trying to harass you.
The man she loved was alive.
This.
Yet his
There's gotta
silence
be-
about the missing years left her mind filled with questions she was not ready to ask.
Okay.
Inside the house, Lyndy slept
Dad.
peacefully. For the first time in years, her small hand resting on her father's arm. Ty stayed close, watching
Flynn,
over
I
her
can't
with
jump that
eyes
far
that
besides.
carried both love
It's not a
and
stadium.
sorrow.
Down from the start, right?
He had returned,
felt
but his
way too
gaze
hard
revealed
too
a weight
soon.
he had not shared. A truth that
Thanks
still
for that,
hid
Jack.
behind his silence.
Wyatt's around here
Jack
somewhere.
stood near
Wyatt!
the barn, his face lit by the
Wyatt's here.
soft glow of a lantern. He had seen men come back from hardship before, but never with eyes that carried this kind of burden. He knew Ty's return was not the end of a story, but the beginning of one far more dangerous.
I saw him in
The
town.
ranch was alive again, yet a
Another.
shadow lingered in the air. Horses stirred restlessly in their stalls. The dogs barked into the distance as if warning of something unseen. Heartland had gained back a son, but perhaps it had also invited the danger that had once taken him away. Amy felt it too.
You guys
She
just
rose
no. Stay
from
there.
the porch
Get in
and
the
stepped
cabin.
inside.
Call Ty.
Her heart beat heavy. She looked at Ty, and for a moment their eyes met. Love was there, unbroken.
Kiss
So was fear. The story of Ty Borden was not finished. His return was not just a miracle, it
In
was
my
a
day,
mystery.
we called that
And
true.
in the silence of that night, one thing became
You're here
certain.
for the tour, obviously.
The truth of
Of
where
course
he
we
had
are.
been, and why he had stayed away, would change Heartland